Hey, welcome back to Performance Starts Within. In today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the predictions that I have for 2026 in marketing and business and what's kind of changed since coming back into the industry, into entrepreneurship, into business, into marketing from last year when I had my creative agency. But before I kick off, I just wanted to talk about a little bit about diving in some of the life updates that we're currently having in business and what's kind of happening in our marketing and what I've noticed has changed. So coming back a year later, I probably haven't really been in depth with marketing in the entrepreneur world or in business world, probably for a good 18 months since closing my business anyway. And what I'm finding is that I'm having to relearn what is going on in the world in regards to marketing, what's working, what's not working, and doing a lot of testing. And so leading up to our podcast and starting to produce content, I'm having to relook and retest for myself and reprime some of our social channels to see what's actually working in one, the ideal clients that I currently are attracting in, but also the algorithms and stuff that's all out there. And so I kind of wanted to share a little bit about that. And what I'm learning along the way is that for those that are not tech savvy like me at all, learning some of this is actually quite difficult. And so I'm going to strip it all the way back and make it stupidly simple so that you can follow along too and maybe start to implement some of these predictions for next year. Let's see if they all come true. And so I've been jumping on a lot of calls with some of my coaches and also my VA to see what's currently working and do a little bit of research into some of the social channels that we're using, which is Instagram mainly for our main social channel. We're looking at a little bit about YouTube, which is quite new to me. I am more of a consumer of YouTube. I've never actually been someone that is a creator for YouTube. Learning a little bit about that platform has been really interesting. I have to say I'm not liking learning it just purely because I'd rather just create and show up on camera. And then also podcasting is really new as well. So understanding like the analytics of things, what's working, how to structure episodes that are engaging, and also the data to look at and not look at along the way. And so it's been a really interesting week talking to some of the coaches that I have and also our VA to work out what is the goal that we're trying to achieve and also what our current level is and what we can do, influence, not do, what are we prepared to do so that we're able to kind of move forward with some of the predictions that we're going to talk about. And so that kind of leads into what I'm preparing for next year based on these predictions. And there's three in particular I want to talk to you about. And the first one is personal brand is going well beyond business brands, which has been coming for a little while. This was coming last year in the creative agency as well, but there's been a really big boost in personal brand probably over the last 6 to 12 months. And so part of what we're doing in our business is being really intentional with the type of content that we're putting out to boost brand. And that's also why I wanted to use podcasting as part of my strategy. One, to save time, like I've spoken about, but also because it builds that trust and brand really quickly with some storytelling. And so the personal brand piece, I'm noticing across lots of different creators, the ones that are going the furthest are very much the ones that are a little bit more personable. They bring a little bit of their personal life into some of their stories. They're able to be real humans and they're not always selling and pitching all the time along the way as well. And so my prediction for next year is that everyone's going to be flooded onto that personal brand space. And so you really need to be ahead of the game in doing that and not necessarily following like a business name specifically or a business account, but more being a bit more yourself as the face. My second prediction for next year is that mindset coaches are actually going to be in most of your coaching containers. And we're learning very quickly that mindset is 80% of the problem in business. And we generally have some blocks on every scale in our revenue as well. The problems between 0 to 5K, 5 to 10K, 10 to 15K all change based on your mindset and your systems. And the reason that we're not able to implement things is generally our mindset. And so the prediction that I'm having for next year is that most containers are going to be bringing in mindset coaches, which is great for you if you are a mindset coach, because there's going to be lots of people looking for mindset coaches in business to be able to make those extra strides in their business as well. And this brings me on to my third prediction for next year. And we hammer on this probably for the last 5 years, but niching, and I'm going to talk about niching a lot in some of our episodes and also in business, because being really specific with who you help or what you do is going to determine whether or not you have a full calendar of clients or whether you don't. And especially if people are bringing in mindset coaches into coaching containers, being really specific with the mindset coach on who you are or what you do or what transformation you make is going to be the difference between between whether or not you're going to hit that 100K month. And so part of what we're doing in ours for our business, not necessarily for the mindset for me, but for our business, we are specifically working with mindset coaches who want to make $100,000, making it really, really narrow so that we, one, get super educated on what their problems are, where they are, their messaging, and what they need from us so we can tailor the program around them, but also means that they know that I am the person that gets mindset coaches from $0 to $100,000. And I only work those particular people to help them get to that point. And so how you can bring this together in your marketing and also your business is to make sure that if you are a mindset coach, you are niching specifically into one category, methodology, way of coaching or problem that you're solving, and creating content specifically around you and how you have those transformations and putting that into the world, into your content. And if you are needing some help on how you can bring that together, we do run Marketing in a Days where we spend 6 hours building out your entire marketing ecosystem, all of your social content planning, how you're able to script better, your messaging, your emails. We'll also have a VA in the back end trying to help you with those automations to make it so stupidly simple. All you need to do is show up on camera. If you would love more information, I'll pop a link in the show notes. Otherwise, thanks for joining us for our episode, and I'll catch you in the next one.